Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a little bit of commentary about the werewolf build I released in Clockwork City with the new set Mechanical Equite in combination with Bone Pirate. Now, because we run the mechanical set only on the front bar, we are allowed to have a two-piece monster set. I recommend running either Celine if you're playing in a small group or a train, or Troll King if you're alone. Troll King is really nice for the extra healing you get. It is also very important that you understand there's other good options in terms of gearing your character, so this is not a must, it's just what I actually like at the moment. The reason why I like this new set is, first off, it gives you crits for 5 seconds. It has 18 seconds cooldown, doesn't sound that good, but the thing is, if it procs in werewolf form, your attacks will all crit, and you have a lot of, like, you have bleeding, light attacks, infection dot, and then heavy and Hole of Agony. There's a lot of things going on. On top of that, your heal in werewolf is also magicka based, so it will also always crit if the set is active. It's actually very hard to kill us, especially on this Stam Sorc setup. We have Deadly Cloak on, we have Blood Craze, we have Crit Surge, we also have Vigor if you want, we have Dark Deal, so it's really hard to actually kill us. Same thing in werewolf form, we have so much resistances. Deadly Cloak stays active in werewolf form, Crit Surge stays active, Hurricane stays active. So on my website you can, like, I have a stat sheet of the werewolf fully buffed, you will see, like, it's completely insane. Now, the number one, I just want to point out the number one mistake people make when playing werewolf in general is that they stay in werewolf form for too long. The trick with werewolf is that you need to learn to reapply your buff in human forms and then transform to werewolf. Because here, for example, Deadly Cloak and Hurricane both last 15 seconds and Crit Surge lasts 30 seconds. So your number one most important skill is Crit Surge. So at the maximum of 30 seconds you really want to retransform back to human form. Because just like I said, when you rebuff yourself and then you transform, you have 25% damage mitigation for 15 seconds, you have both major resistance buff, so that's like 5.3k spell and physical resistance. You still have Crit Surge for another 15 seconds, which heals you with every crit you do. And you have so much damage taking in werewolf form, it will not be a problem to crit it. On top of that, you have your heal in werewolf form. Once Crit Surge runs out, you really need to transform back, otherwise you will have issues, or like it's just very dangerous and you might die. Here in this battleground I solo queued. Now basically, as you can see, in human form you also can deal pretty good damage. We have Deadly Cloak and Hurricane that are dots on ourselves, but that also deal really good damage. We have Blood Craze that we can put on the enemy that also heals us. Then we use Dizzy Swing and Crit Rush. Crit Rush is a very important skill. Now you kinda have to learn to use it properly and often, because as you can see, even though I'm fighting an enemy, I still walk backwards a bit so I can use Crit Rush again. It actually deals quite a lot of damage. So you really want to make sure you maybe use Dizzy Swing, walk backwards a little bit so you immediately can use a light attack and Crit Rush. We're also using Forward Momentum, and as you can see, I'm pretty bad at keeping up my buffs. So that's something very important that you need to learn, to keep up all your buffs: Hurricane, Deadly Cloak, Crit Surge. Forward Momentum is nice because it removes, or like it gives you snare immunity for 8 seconds. Now if you want, you could also run Rally to get bigger heals, but we already have enough heals, so Forward Momentum is more than like safe to use. About Dark Deal, if you're really good at resource management, you don't necessarily need it because we have enough stamina recovery, but I really like it and I lose track of my resources quite a lot. So then I notice, oh crap, I'm low, so I can just use Dark Deal, I get health and stamina back, so that's something really cool. Here I transform into Werewolf and you see I do a mistake, I don't rebuff, so I only have 10 seconds Hurricane and Deadly Cloak and crit surge is also not lasting that long anymore, so it's very dangerous. I don't have a lot of passive healing and that stuff, and I could actually die pretty fast. The biggest trouble I had was against really good Nightblades. So they're dodge rolling constantly and cloaking constantly, so it's really hard to actually hit any of the abilities. But I think that's a general issue. You could use detect pots, but I'm not sure if it's worth the trouble. Sometimes I just ignore them, sometimes I try to kill them. As long as you have your buffs up, you're not in danger of getting killed, because you're like at the resistance cap and you have so much passive healing, so they cannot really kill you. You have to be careful if you go full rage frenzy mode, and then you forget to look at your buffs, they drop off, and then the Nightblade will rip you really fast. In human form it's the same thing, you have to be very careful and make sure to keep up all your buffs, because when you don't have any buffs active and you go into a fight and you have to rebuff yourself first, it's very dangerous of actually getting killed. Remember, we are in heavy armor, so we don't take that much damage immediately, and on top of that with Deadly Cloak, the 25% damage AoE mitigation is also really nice. Take a look at my buffs and tell me what I did wrong here. So I didn't die because it was a gank blade and it was just too strong. I died because I was too incompetent to keep up my crit surge. If crit surge would have been up, I would still be alive, because I would have gotten enough heals from crit surge to actually heal through his attacks. But I failed, so I kinda deserve to get the ripperoni pepperoni all over my face here. Another thing to mention is I'm relying a lot on crit surge, so I'm not using Vigor a lot. That's something also very dangerous, because I keep forgetting to use a Vigor because I think crit surge is active. And then, yeah, when crit surge is not active, I'm also not using Vigor, so I'm not actually healing myself, and then it's like goodbye. Here I actually was testing Ball of Lightning instead of Streak, but I really don't like Ball of Lightning, because it's weird. You basically have, like when somebody uses Shooting Star on you and stuff like that, the Ball of Lightning has already be present on the ground, so it absorbs it. If somebody uses Shooting Star and you use Ball of Lightning, it will still hit you. So I really didn't find it that useful, so I really recommend slotting or like using the Streak morph. It will also help you to like stun enemies or like take Nightblades out of cloak and that kind of stuff. Line of sight is another huge point, especially in Battlegrounds, well also in Cyrodiil. If possible, always make sure to try line of sight your enemies, so they can't always attack you. So like when they're trying to use some abilities on you and you're behind a stone or something, they cannot attack you, so that really gives you room to breathe. That's more or less all for now. Now I would like to know from you if you found the video useful. Could you learn something? Would you like me to do more of those kind of videos to explain situations? I mean, this was more general now, but I also could do more specific, talking about certain fights and all that kind of stuff. Please leave a comment down below and make sure to hit that sexy like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I will let the video roll out. Till then, thank you for watching and see you soon. Cheers.